as a awkward freshman, sophomore.
Very awkward.
Very awkward. When you weren't just totally crushing it in basketball or water polo, academically, culturally, spiritually, what do you treasure most about your Carondelet experience?
The people. It's kind of a common theme, it seems like. You know, my maid of honor was my best friend who I met at Carondelet. So hands down, the people and the experiences I had there.
Wonderful. Tell us about growing up with a dad who played at St. Mary's, 3 brothers. I imagine you had some pretty intense pickup games on the driveway.
Yes.
How did those brothers toughen you up? And tell us the real story. You must have schooled them a few times.
Well, they can all stand and show you their size. And my mom had a rule, actually. You know, you either had to choose to be inside or outside, and you always chose outside because inside you had to do chores. But her rule was no blood, no foul. And so if you wanted to go and play, then go ahead and play, but if you weren't bleeding, then don't call a foul. It toughened you up pretty quickly.
And there must have been a time when you beat the heck out of one of these guys and you let them know about it. Share a fun story when you got the upper hand on one of your brothers. Maybe your little brother.
I somehow always lost teeth when I played against my brothers. So, I mean, we went back and forth multiple times, but they definitely were the ones who, you know, ignited the passion. They all played. 2 of them played at De La Salle High School, basketball, wrestling, you know. It was just a very competitive family. We competed in literally everything. Like our first serving on the dinner table, if you ate fast enough, you got seconds. So everything was a competition in our house. And it totally kind of led that drive and that passion and kind of carried over into the pool and on the court.
Coach Gardner mentioned you were so unselfish, sometimes to a fault, where they had like, Jayne, shoot. But there has to be an incredible feisty side to you as well. Banging in the low post at Stanford and 7 seasons in the WNBA. What was your little special that you would do once in a while?
That's probably why I had to retire at 7 years. You know, I was incredibly fortunate. When I was in the basketball court, I had the DeRossi sisters. And for those of you who don't know, they could literally hit any shot, which makes my job a lot easier. And I also, you know, another teammate I had here is Monica Powers, and I had a deal with her that I would play water polo if she played basketball. I needed a power forward. So that, you know, that kind of helped. And, you know, being a physical player, especially when I moved professionally, you have to find kind of a little niche that you can excel in. I was not the fastest, and I wasn't the biggest, and I definitely was not the best jumper. So I had to be more physical, and, you know, that was kind of my job, and that definitely is how my professional role developed over time.
And apparently some high school coaches, not very smart, thought you couldn't shoot free throws either. So in one game, they did the hack-a-shack, and you said, take this, 25 of 28 from the free throw line. Did you like glance at the coach on the bench and say, hey, got you?
You know, that happened in college as well during one of the NCAA tournaments, and they said, we're just going to let them keep scoring inside, and they didn't let any threes go up, and they lost by like almost 40. So coaches should learn to adapt game plans a little bit as the game goes on, but we had a great team.
High school All-American, college All-American, you heard the amazing accomplishments. You had the chance to play for Tara Vanderveer at Stanford, one of the best basketball coaches in history, men's or women's, hands down. What did you learn from Tara? How did she push you to become the amazing athlete you are? And what life lessons did she teach you that you use today?
I mean, every day. We have an 11-week-old daughter. I just took her and I said, can you take her in the class of 2040? And you'll still be here. I took her on Monday to meet Coach Vanderveer. But the lessons that I think she taught us just how to honestly evaluate yourself and how to push yourself. And I've never been more prepared going into a game than I was at Stanford. I mean, the way that she teaches you how to prepare yourself. I mean, we knew the other team's plays better than they knew them. So I think that is probably the biggest lesson I took from her.
You're probably smarter too going to Stanford.
There's some tough teams out there.
Yeah. 7 seasons in the WNBA in San Antonio. Warriors just beat the Spurs. Play in New Orleans right now. If you have a second with Coach Kerr, how in the world is he going to defend the all-star, the all-world Anthony Davis. What would you tell Coach Kerr? How do you slow that guy down? You're a big. How do you shut down big?
Try and keep him as far away from the basket as possible.
All right. You want to yell that really loud so you can hear you?
Yeah.
You recently became a mom for the first time. Beautiful daughter Shay here with us tonight. What? Is she dribbling yet, by the way?
She's got big paws, so. And Grandpa keeps telling her to use her left hand, so see what it can develop.
What's it like being a mom? I guess you can't ever prepare for that, but what's it like?
I thought I knew what tired was, and I have played in China and in Turkey and Brazil, and you do the time change, and I got off a plane one time, I flew home for a funeral and then flew back and played a game, and I think I slept 2 hours, and I was like, oh, this is so tiring. And then you have a kid in the first week, you're like, no, this is tiring. But it's been an awesome experience so far.
All right, biggest goosebump memory of your athletic career?
At Carondelet?
Overall.
Oh. It's so tough to say. I mean, definitely the gold medal at the World Championships for USA. In high school, I think one of my favorite memories was, actually in the water polo pool and seeing my coach Megan Hernandez, and she's looking up, and the UCLA coaches are sitting there, and the Stanford coaches are sitting there, and they're all sitting there for basketball recruiting. And she was like, is this real life that you're bringing them to the pool? So, just little memories like that are definitely ones that I'll treasure and keep with me. And obviously at Stanford, going to the Final Four is just a tremendous experience. And it's just an invaluable time.
Anything else you want to share?
Just thank you. I mean, I have so many teammates here that came out, and coaches, and we took up 2 whole tables full of Appels. So, just want to say thank you to my parents, especially my mom, who's bouncing the infant in the back, for sending me to Carondelet. And I kind of want to mimic Tiffany in that the values that they instilled in me were reinforced when I went to Carondelet. So thank you for creating the Hall of Fame, and I'm very honored to be with this class, and look forward to the future Cougars that will be joining us.
Excellent. Well, congratulations.